In closing today's event, all that is now required is to thank you for taking part. In preparation for today, I read the report again and was particularly struck by its declaration that there must be a complete culture shift affecting strategy and structures, making freedom of religion or belief central to the Foreign Office's culture, to its policies and international operations. I was struck by its call for a religiously literate local operational approach, the training and equipping of local embassy staff with in-depth knowledge of religious history, religious persecution, and religious culture of the country in which they work. And then I thought about Nigeria and how, whenever I speak to officials, they try to suggest that the killings, the abductions, the rapes, and forced conversions are primarily attributable to climate change or demographic trends. The effects of climate change do, of course, have to be addressed, but climate change doesn't behead people or rape them. A murderous ideology does. Take the section in the Truro report on sub-Saharan Africa. It says this: reports consistently showed that in Nigeria, month after month, on average, hundreds of Christians were being killed for reasons connected with their faith. Those worst affected, it says, included Christian women and girls abducted and forced to convert, enter forced marriages, sexual abuse, and torture. It's those victims who desperately need a culture shift, including a review of how the £800,000 in aid which the UK gives to Nigeria each and every single day is spent. They are the ones who need to see the Prime Minister's pledge to use the UK's global reach and programme funding to improve the lives of persecuted, to see that turned into a reality. A brave Nigerian Muslim woman I met recently put it well. She said, "We don't need Boko Haram, we need Boko Halal." In other words, education shouldn't be forbidden. It should be welcomed and permitted, especially for girls. And that isn't just true in Nigeria. British aid should insist on a culture shift which promotes honest and accountable government, leaders of integrity, community cohesion, the protection of minorities, the promotion of diversity, shared identity, the teaching of citizenship, and an end to life-taking sectarian violence. The Truro report challenges us to listen to the victims, to engage with ravaged local communities, to lead sustained efforts to protect and reconcile divided communities, to end cycles of revenge and retaliation, to address root causes, to end impunity, and to bring to justice those who threaten the very existence of countries like Nigeria, which could so easily go the way of Sudan. When the recent report on Nigeria was launched here at Westminster, Leah Sharibu's mother urged us to hold her country's leaders to account, and she said this: "Please don't grow weary or tired of trying to help us." Friends, 84% of the world's population has a faith, a third are Christian. But according to Pew Research, 74% of the world's population live in countries where there are violations of freedom of religion or belief. It was our former chief rabbi, Lord Sachs, Jonathan Sachs, in describing genocide against Christians, who said it is one of the crimes against humanity of our time, adding that he was appalled at the lack of protest it has evoked. That lack of protest led The Spectator magazine to comment that the global war on Christians remains the greatest story never told of the early 21st century. Well, we who enjoy such extraordinary freedoms and liberties have a duty to tell those stories on behalf of those who can't. If you haven't already done so, I hope you'll keep a copy of the Truro Review easily accessible on your computer or iPad, but you'll do everything you can to ensure that the recommendations stay live, that they don't disappear into the ether, and that there are 250 million competing and compelling reasons not to be distracted, but to concentrate on the 250 million people who need you to constantly advocate on their behalf, to use the democratic opportunities open to us. As Rebecca Sharibu said, please don't grow tired or weary. Deploy every asset and seize every opportunity to use your voice on behalf of those whose voices have been silenced. Thank you again for taking part today.